One Team just got its brand new update 2.1.5, but there's actually some additional details for October 16th and the 17th that did follow up with that update, so I'll cover all those details there, which includes some new information around the Season 9 Battle Pass, a brand new Halloween event, future and upcoming changes. On top of that new patch, we actually have an October 29th patch to go over, which does provide us with new deviations, new vehicles, and a ton to go over there, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up, World Utopia, here back into another video. Today we're checking out all things Once Human. First off here, of course, we did have the new Season 9 Battle Pass. They're calling that one the Heartbeat Rush, where the female set is the Sweetheart Spectrum, and the male set is the Urban Rebel. A few other cool cosmetics to round it out: weapon skins, event areas, backpack props, wall decors, which did begin with update 2.1.5. We also did, of course, have a new Lightforge loot crate. They're calling that one the Scorching Craving. That one was available around the same time as well. And there is some fashion variants as well as furniture available with that. One thing to note here, they actually did separate out the devil horns from everything else. I know a lot of people have been asking for them to separate out the headpieces from the rest of the outfit. Well, with this Lightforge loot crate, that item is now separate from the rest of the cosmetic. We'll have to wait and see if they do that for previous ones, but it is for this new one. So hopefully at least it is for the future ones as well. We did also have the patch 2.1.5. I won't go through these too much since these already happened, and we have basically covered a lot of these patches already. But we did get some new content for Raid Zone, some new weapons, a dagger, underwater combat. The construction overhaul now has been implemented as well for all modes. The snap point and pass across foundations. You can also manually rotate. As they do mention, there's a smarter interlock. There has also been a core quality of life change. Some of these, though, won't arrive until 2.2.0, which is the jumping melee attack. Mostly everything here has already been implemented. There was also a brand new event here that started with 2.1.5. That is the Bug Hunt event, where you can submit in-game bug hunts. If they are confirmed, they're actually going to be giving out some stuff here. So you'll get points based on how good your bug reporting is. There's going to be Battle Pass Luxury Edition vouchers, an Advanced Battle Pass or just the normal one, as well as 500 Christogens, 30-day Meta Pass, and Mitsuko marks. Currently, the high value ones, they want to be around the animal breeding and behavior anomalies. One kind of example here was the Eternal Land Pets Can't Be Recalled. Next up here, though, we do have to go over patch 2.2.0. That one is dropping October 30th or October 29th, depending on your time zone. And there is a ton of things to cover in this blog post. So as they do mention and kind of reiterate and hit on the 2.1.5 that the underwater combat in Raid Zone has gone live. We already covered all that: daggers, grenades, explosives that you can use underwater now. As you can see, you have easier interaction with structures underwater as well. So they kind of just hit back on that point there. However, this next part here is for the October 29th update. And again, this is for patch 2.2.0, so not 2.1.5 that we currently have with October 15th update. And the first one here is quite massive. This is a flying vehicle that is coming. They mentioned this is by popular demand, that after unlocking it, you can ignore terrain obstacles, or you can easily traverse the map, giving a tremendous advantage in aerial exploration. Now, there are some discrepancies with this. There is a how to obtain. They say in PvE scenarios, you can unlock the ability to craft flying vehicles through the mimetic systems. You can then craft and upgrade them by spending resources at the small garage. Now, they did only mention PvE scenarios here, but they also mention Raid Zone, where they say in Raid Zone, you must collect shards to purchase flying vehicles at randomly designated trade zones on the server. This trade zone will not change until the server closes. On the world map, you'll hover over a trade zone with your cursor to check if it has a flying vehicle that can be purchased. So it'll kind of show you on that world map there, so you don't head there and accidentally not get one. Now, because they say PvE scenarios, but then they also list Raid Zone as the exception, my guess is this will not be available in Prison vs. Clash. And it seems like this will not be available in Evolution's Call, which does sort of make sense there since those have PvP zones, and they probably don't want people flying in and out of those zones consistently, basically removing the incentive or even need for PvP if you're just always flying around. And I assume they want to keep the ground combat actually more accessible. So it does seem like this will be available in the PvE scenarios, except Raid Zone will be the only PvP scenario you'll be able to get it in. But you'll have to go to those designated trade zones on the server, where that trade zone will not change until the server closes. Of course, here, as you've seen with the imagery and video, they do showcase a little bit of the aerial flying vehicle, where it's more like a propeller plane of a sorts. but it actually does seem fairly fast. We'll have to see how these actually do play into the actual world. Does seem fairly cool there to kind of collect and grab this one though. That wasn't all though, there is more coming with the 2.2.0 update. Now again, this one is also going to coincide with the Palworld kind of tie-in and collaboration, where they do actually give off some new deviations that are coming to Once Human. And there is 4 of them so far. I do wonder if there's going to be a few more that do collaborate with Palworld, as we actually did see a different one in the Palworld Collaboration trailer than the ones that they show off here. But the first one is called the Whale Pup, which is a sort of whale and pup, obviously puppy mix. We have another one here called Director Fox. I'm going to go ahead and assume this one is a healer-esque, given the Dr. coat there. So maybe finally another healer alongside Dr. Teddy. Another one here they're calling Soul Summoner. Almost seems like this could be a support one or even have some summons alongside it. Very interesting take here with a wolf mask and sort of a bear cub body. Very, very cool one there. And then last but not least here they have the Zapamander, which again is going to be a new electric type of deviation it looks like. We do have the electric eel and of course the orb. Maybe this one does play more into support there. Will be cool to kind of see. They do mention though that more details are coming soon, and that they're also developing new gameplay content at full throttle. Remember, they were on vacation recently, so that was kind of why we were in a bit of a lull state, as they did have a holiday over there in China, and literally nearly every single employee was out of the office. Even the personal community managers that I have connections with were out of the office, and that happened for several games that I actually cover. So yeah, it wasn't just with Once Human, but yeah, they do say now that they are at full throttle making that new content. Again, we'll also have to wait and see what the Palworld collaboration brings us. I do assume this has some sort of tie-in here, but as I mentioned, there's still that one from the trailer that they showed off, so I do believe there is still more deviations they have to show. Moving on though, we have 2 last mentions here. This first one hasn't come to the shop yet, and it's also a new event, but of course that does tie in with Halloween. So some new cosmetics here that will be available on October 22nd. They have some other events that are ongoing, like a Reddit event, a social media event, Discord events as well that they're kind of playing into, with a Halloween fashion show and even a Deviation Fusion Festival. So I will link to those down below if you do want to check those out. But again, we are still getting some new cosmetics here, and that is tie into Halloween. The one last here is the Omen of Affliction Round 4 schedule. So they are still doing those matchups that do vary by region. There's also some in-game details that goes over this, but they do mention that since players do come from different regions, that the in-game information will be for specific timings, but they do kind of showcase here the different regions that verse each other in this round 4, and that one does last until October 25th. Overall, that's about covered for today's video. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and until the next one, deuce.